Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Home Chef. Home Chef is a weekly subscription service that brings fresh ingredients right to your doorstep with easy to follow recipes so you can make yourself a quick and easy meal. Home Chef is perfect for busy lifestyles with quick options including oven-ready meals, 15-minute meals, and fast and fresh. Home Chef has a rotating menu for tons of variety with over 20 new meals every week, and there's endless customization. You can swap out proteins, including proteins like salmon or impossible meats. I love the step-by-step, easy to follow directions that guide you through the recipe, and the recipes are designed for minimal cleanup and prep. Also, Home Chef is a cost-effective alternative to dining out, and users of leading meal kits agree that Home Chef is #1 in taste. And this week, my family's favorite Home Chef meal was the piccata pork chops with roasted potatoes. So if you'd like to try Home Chef for yourself, please click the link down below and use my code emmymade50 to receive 50% off and free shipping on your first Home Chef box. Big thanks to Home Chef for sponsoring this video and for allowing me to make better videos for all of you. Alrighty, my lovelies, today we're going to be making a recipe that is sometimes called Korean carrots. In Russian, it's called morkovcha, and it's basically a carrot pickled salad. Now, this has gotten really popular on the TikToks. Creator Daniel Zaslavsky popularized this by tasting a jar of it. It was quite mysterious, and I still don't really know what this tastes like because I've never tasted it, but it has an interesting history. So this recipe is essentially a panchan, which is a pickled side dish that often accompanies a Korean meal. It was created by Koreans who emigrated to the Soviet Union and made this panchan or side dish salad with carrots. And now you can find these Korean carrots all over post-Soviet Union countries, Central Asia. It's super common and popular, and it seems a lot of families make it at home. And today we're going to be making a homemade version so I can see what it actually tastes like. I'm really curious about the texture and the flavor of this dish, and it looks relatively easy to make. So let's go ahead and get started. So the primary ingredient in this salad is of course carrots, but to flavor it we need to make an onion infused oil. So in my saucepan here, I'm going to add about a half a cup of vegetable oil, and I'm going to remove this floaty. And to that I'm going to add a large onion that I've chopped up. And we just want this oil to get nice and oniony. So I'm going to fry this up until the onions get kind of golden. So if you want to learn more about the history of morkovcha, I'll put a link down below to an Eater article that I read that gives you a very interesting background about this dish. I'm not going to stir it anymore. I'm just going to kind of let it go on kind of medium-low heat. So next we need to prepare our carrots, and they need to be sliced thinly in little matchsticks like this. And I used my mandolin, and I've used this tool quite a bit actually, a lot more than I thought I would initially. And this particular one has a toothed blade like that you can add to it. You can use the guard to help you slice it through. Great big pile of carrots right here. Now, if you don't have a mandolin, you could purchase shredded carrots at the grocery store, or you could try slicing them too. And this is 2 pounds of carrots. The recipe that I'm going to be adapting today comes from Let the Baking Begin, and I'll put a link down below to the original recipe. So let's take a look at our onions. And they are frying up nicely. They're smelling great. And we're supposed to just fry these up till they get a little bit golden. I'm gonna add the shredded carrots to a bowl. We're gonna add 4 tablespoons of vinegar to this. Just plain white distilled vinegar. That'll kind of give us an instant kind of pickling. Then 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar. So you can already imagine it's going to be a combination of sweet and sour, salty of course. Perfect amount. Smoked paprika. Now if you've never used smoked paprika before, it has a really great smokiness, kind of similar to liquid smoke. And for heat, a little bit of cayenne, just a little. And then this ingredient I found very interesting, coriander. 1 teaspoon of ground coriander. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. A little bit more. Next, we're gonna add a bunch of garlic, freshly minced. All right, last clove. These are pretty small cloves, but I would say a total of about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Fresh is best. That's it for the seasoning. And then we're gonna add our fried onion oil. Isn't that interesting? Fascinating. So here are our onions, blissfully frying away. So here we are with our seasonings on our shredded carrots. Now I'm gonna take a sieve and place it right there so we can strain out our onion oil. We don't want the bits, just the oil. Oops, got a few bits in there. We'll be all right. Those would be delicious on a burger. Okay, so now we mix our oil into the carrots, which will kind of blanch them a little bit. Not really cook them. It's not hot enough for that, but kind of soften them, I imagine. But if you think about it, we've just made a dressing, right? The combination of oil, vinegar, salt, it's a dressing. And that's it. It's amazing how all that oil kind of just gets absorbed into the carrots. So pretty. Next, I've got a couple clean glass jars, and I'm going to pack the salad into the jar. This can be eaten now, and I will taste it now, but this is supposed to taste better after it sits for at least a few hours and is chilled. So I'm gonna taste it cold as well. I think I might be able to pack it all into one jar. Look at that. This is 2 pounds of carrots. So I'm gonna pack this all into one jar, and it should be eaten within a week. There it is, beautiful. Alrighty, now I'm gonna place this in the refrigerator and allow it to sit overnight, and we'll give it a taste tomorrow. But in the meanwhile, let's go ahead and try the salad fresh. And it still looks crunchy, but a little bit softer. Alrighty, here we go. Itadakimasu. Mmm. Ooh. I forgot that we included some cayenne in there. So it's got a little bit of a spicy kick to it. That was surprising. Nice, intense, raw carrot flavor. I was expecting it to be very, very overpoweringly garlicky, but it's not. I really like the crunch of the carrots, but since we shredded it, it's not so hard and coarse. The dressing is perfectly seasoned, not too salty. Love the addition of heat. I can taste the black pepper in there and the garlic in there, and the onion flavor is really nice in there too. So good. If I hadn't made this myself, I never would have been able to pinpoint that flavor, that kind of elusive flavor of the coriander. It's kind of lemony. And it goes so nicely with the vinegar and the dressing and the heat of the cayenne and the little gentle spice of the black pepper. Really good. And this hasn't even marinated. Delicious as it is, but I think it would be terrific served with other things as well. With meat dishes, I think that vegetal kind of crunch along with the acidity would complement a nice kind of fatty meat meal. But I can't wait to taste it tomorrow and see how the flavors develop, and to taste it cold to see how that affects things as well. All right, my lovelies, I will see you in many hours once this is cooled and kind of had time to meld and get happy. Alrighty, see you in a little bit. Alrighty, my lovelies, I'm back with the chilled Korean carrots, and let's see what they taste like. This is what it looks like, not all that different than it did yesterday. But I'm curious to see how the flavor and or texture has changed in the hours that have gone by. So let us see. Ooh, it made a bit of a vacuum seal. They weren't even that hot. Incredible. All right, so I'm gonna do it Danielle style and eat them right out of the cold jar. chilled Korean carrot. Itadakimasu. So good. I definitely recommend letting them sit overnight. The flavor of the dressing that we made really penetrates into the carrots, and while it tastes carroty, it's not as raw carroty as it tasted yesterday. It's much more infused. Flavor is excellent. Really nice balance of salty and sweet and garlicky and just a bit of spice, but definitely recommend letting it sit for a bit so that the flavors can kind of really penetrate into the carrots. So good. Such a great texture. It reminds me a little bit of sauerkraut in that texture, but not as wet, but a nice crunch because we didn't really cook the carrots, and I really like that crunch, but the flavor is so great, both spicy and garlicky. Such a great combination. And the pickly flavors remind me a little bit of the shredded carrot and daikons that you can get on a banh mi in a Vietnamese sandwich. That sweet and tangy combination is very reminiscent of that. Although those are a little bit more pungent in aroma because of the daikon, the radish gives it kind of a different scent, shall we say. These are delicious, and I will definitely make them again. I could imagine them on a sandwich. Accompany pretty much anything. I found the seasoning to be just right for me in terms of salt and sweetness and vinegar, but by all means, make any adjustments you like when you try these. If you like them a little bit more tangy, add a little more vinegar. If you like them a little bit more salty, carry on. But I found it just right. Goldilocks. Really great recipe. Fantastic. So highly, highly, highly recommend. I think the next time I make this, I might try using store-bought shredded carrots because that was the one time consuming part of this recipe. That and frying up the onions. Shredding the carrots took quite a while, but at the store they sell pre-shredded carrots, but they are a little bit larger in diameter, so I wonder if that would affect the kind of flavor in terms of the absorption of the flavor and of course the texture. But I'm willing to try it because I would like to eat these again, but I would like to save a little bit of time. The fried onion part did take some time, but then you're left with a bunch of onions that you could put on hamburgers or use for another purpose, so I think it's well worth it. Oh, I almost forgot about my new shirt. Do you love it? I love it so much. This is my brand new emmymade logo and t-shirt. Jordan, thanks so much for the design. If you are interested, I'll put a link to it down below. And also big thanks to Home Chef for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try Home Chef for yourself, click the link down below and use my code emmymade50 to receive 50% off and free shipping on your first Home Chef box. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye!